It's
Right.
like ocean, beach,
Yeah.
sun, 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 sun,
Right.
waves, texture, like all these different things. And so like the idea of begin again,
Right.
it really just starts like pulling you in
That's so
deeper.
great. I love your analysis of it. I
Oh my
love that you
gosh.
paid, like, such close
Oh,
attention because, well, the story and everyone loves stories, and so I'm trying
yes.
to, like, express the story of each painting, you know?
Yes.
Um, but that was I was painting that in my house. I had just started painting, like, I think I took a creative expression course on YouTube, this woman in Australia, and it was like she was teaching just how to let go and so I'd been doing that for a couple weeks and I had this painting, and I was like, "I'm just gonna try it," and at first it just looked like I felt like it looked like terrible, like like a home goods painting. Not that, some home goods ones are nice, but
Yeah.
I don't wanna offend anyone. Yeah.
Depends on what day of the week you go.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I was, like, putting in all these different textures and but it wasn't saying anything, and at the time, I was, learning about meditation
Mm.
and yoga and trying to regulate my moods, perimenopausal mood swings all the time, it was,
Mhm.
like, tough, I was trying to figure myself out, and meditation and yoga, it was teaching me all these new concepts that I
Mhm.
was like, "Oh," like, instead of reacting, just, like, you wait and you respond and,
Mhm.
just, like, different ways of communicating,
Mhm.
um, and and I just kept making mistakes, I kept, like,
Yeah.
stepping in it again, like, saying the wrong thing to someone and just creating a lot of, tension and, like, I don't know, conflict where it didn't have to be that way.
Mhm.
It was dependent on my, like, reactivity, and so it was like I just felt like I kept having to reset, having to wake up and begin a new day, like, from square one, like, I'm gonna, like, slow my thinking and just reorder everything, so it was just like it represented, like, the sun coming up, like, every new sunrise, like, another
Yeah.
chance to, like, get better at
Oh
this,
my gosh, I love
yeah.
that story. When I look at it and hear that story, it's the piece overall gives such a warmth
Mm,
and positive feeling. So
yeah.
it's so interesting to hear that it came from a place of struggle,
Yeah.
but that you were choosing a positive mindset. You
Yeah.
were saying, like, in the morning, you can wake up
Yeah.
and choose this warmth. You can
Yes.
choose the sun
Yep.
and making the painting, um, which I mean, obviously you spent many hours on.
Yes.
So then now you're spending hours creating the painting about the
Yeah.
thing,
Yes.
maybe having just come from a hard conversation,
Yes.
but choosing to make a painting
Yeah.
with positive energy.
And that's where the
Yeah.
healing is, that's where
Yeah.
it's so wonderful that we as humans have the brains that we do for coping with, like, hard stuff, like,
Mhm.
it's my favorite way of coping with struggles, it's like you can, um and if you can capture that and somehow convey it in what you painted, that's when you're like, "Oh, this was worth the time, this was worth making," like,
Yeah.
I wish every painting was like that. It's not always like that, but
Mhm.
the fact that it can happen is like that's the whole point, like, that's why I'm doing it, it's just, like, to see the possibilities,
Yeah, and just
um,
see what comes out, like,
see what comes out, keep playing.
keep the pipeline open
Yeah,
is something
yeah,
I like to say, like, especially where, like, there was last month, I had 3 weeks that I got no studio time. I just
mm,
had lots of stuff going on, lots of business side of things, emails, whatever, all that
yeah,
stuff that I just had deadlines, had to get,
mhm,
and I could feel it
yeah,
bubbling up, and then it's like when I finally get to the studio, it's almost like I have to unclog,
yeah,
because like, the ideas and
yes,
the things that must be made don't stop. They keep
yeah,
piling up.
they do,
So it's
right?
like I just need to make
Yeah,
whenever,
yeah,
and so having a creative practice that I could at least dig back into,
yeah,
"Okay, I'm doing these floral paintings, like,
right,
this isn't folk art.
yeah,
Folk art for is much more, like, thoughtful and these stories, and I'm making these representations," and I
yeah,
like having some of those going, but, um, just being able to, like, dig into these
Yeah.
florals
Yeah.
and a landscape, which
Yeah.
is just like, "Okay, I know how to do this. I can channel energy and just get it going,"
Yeah.
and then it allows space for some of those other ideas to
Totally.
come out.
I feel it. I look at it like it's soothing my brain, you know?